Hey guys, Syed here. So today we're going to take a look at a 2018 Honda Civic 1.5 Turbo. And if you're new to the channel, do subscribe because we do have more car reviews coming up. I think the next car I'm going to review is probably going to be the new Audi A5 or the BMW 3 Series. I'm not too sure yet. But do subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. So before I begin, I'd like to say thank you to Autolink Holdings for lending me this car to review. This review wouldn't have been possible without them. So thank you very much. By the way, Autolink Holdings is an sgcarlife premium car dealer. So I don't really know what that means, but the logo is shiny and they've won a bunch of awards basically. So if I were looking for a used car, definitely I would check them out. By the way, the Civic that I'm driving today is for sale by Autolink Holdings. So I'll put links in the description below so you can check out their website, you can check out their Facebook and all that stuff and see more about this car. So enough about that, let's talk about this Honda Civic 1.5 Turbo. So in Singapore, you can get a Honda Civic in two variants, the 1.5 Turbo, which is the one I'm driving right now, or the 1.6 litre naturally aspirated one. Me personally, I think this is the variant you should go for because to me the 1.6 litre variant lacks a bit of power and you don't get the nicer stuff that you get with this car. For example, the upgraded rims, sunroof and LED headlights, just to name a few. So why should you go for this variant? Because you get better fuel consumption as compared to the 1.6 litre variant. You also have a cheaper road tax and like I mentioned, you do get some nicer features as compared to the 1.6 variant. Downsides, however, because this is a turbo car, so the servicing interval is a bit more frequent, and also your car insurance may be a bit higher because it's a turbo car. But trust me, I drive a turbo car myself. The servicing interval isn't that. Between a turbo car and a non-turbo car, it's not too bad actually. So some quick specs of this car. This car has a 1.5 litre turbo engine producing 170 horsepower. That's about 50 horsepower more than the one you get in the 1.6 litre variant. It comes with 220 Newton meters of torque, which is about 70 Newton meters of torque more than the 1.6 litre variant. And it does 0 to 100 in 8.6 seconds, which is definitely faster than the 1.6. Fuel consumption on paper, this car should do about 16.9 kilometers per litre, but once I'm done driving around, I'll get back to the real life fuel consumption. Exterior design, I think this car looks much better than the previous generation Honda Civic. This one was designed to stand out. It's lower, it's wider, it really deviates away from the traditional Civic look. So how does this car feel on the road? The steering is not too light and it's not too heavy either. I think it's the perfect balance. There's very little body roll. It's relatively quiet as well. I think you don't really get a lot of road noise or wind noise. So one cool feature this car has is the lane watch feature, which right now I turned on my signal to the left and you can see that there's a mirror here that shows me my left blind spot. So this I think is very useful, especially when you have like motorcyclists or e-scooter riders coming up on your left and you don't see them. And the best part about this is to enable this feature you have to use your signals. So it encourages people to use their signals, especially for those people who are not in the habit of using them. This car is also, I noticed, very comfortable on the roads. It goes over bumps quite gracefully, and the performance, you can feel the turbo lag, but it picks up really well after that. This car also feels very sporty because of the driving position. It's quite low, and the meter display here looks like it reminds me of the display that you get in a jet fighter or something. It's very nice. So I've been driving around in start-stop traffic and my consumption right now is about 8.8 litres per 100 kilometers, which translates to about 11, somewhere between 11 to 12 kilometers per litre, which isn't too bad, I think. If you are doing a lot of highway driving, then I think your fuel consumption will definitely be better. Okay, moving on to the interior. Interior design is quite simple and modern looking. There's not much going on here. One thing I like about this car is that it's quite practical in terms of storage space. So you can see you have 2 cup holders here, you have a deep storage space in the middle to keep your stuff. You even have another storage space to like keep your, to hide some stuff, you know, which is near your footwell here. Boot space wise, you get a pretty big boot, I have to say, 519 litres. It's quite big, it's quite deep. And for families, I don't think boot space in this car would be an issue. So I'm now in the back of the Honda Civic 1.5 Turbo, and this seat is in my original driver's position, and you can see I have a lot of knee room, and I also have, okay, maybe not so much, but I do have a bit of quite decent amount of headroom as well. You also get rear aircon vents, but you do have this transmission tunnel which eats into leg room for the middle rear passenger. So some of the things I like about this car, number one, I think is the looks. It looks very good. And number two, I like the driving position. It's quite low, especially considering that this is a family car. It's about as sporty as you can get in terms of the driving position, in terms of the driving feel, in terms of the performance. Okay, maybe not performance, but this car is powerful enough for Singapore roads with 170 horsepower. And if let's say that's not enough, you can always spend like $1,000 to $2,000 more, get a Honda Flash Pro and just tune the car, and that will bring your power up to about 230 horsepower, something like that. So that's a good amount of power gains that you can get with just $1,000 to $2,000. And lastly, I think the fuel consumption is also not too bad. What I dislike about this car would probably be the pricing. I think it's a bit expensive, especially when you compare it to the 1.6 litre variant. There's a big price difference. Secondly, I think being a front wheel drive car, I don't know why there's a big center tunnel in the middle which eats into your passenger leg room. But I heard it's for rigidity of the chassis, but I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. So at the end of the day, I still think this car is a very good car that you should consider, especially if you want something that's good looking and you want something that has a little bit more power and something that has the Honda reliability. So yeah, that's about it for this review. Thanks guys for watching. Do remember to subscribe for our future car review videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video.